Hello my beautiful people, welcome to another mini segment with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you so much. Thank you for all of your support. So the reason I am doing this is something a little bit different for me. I'm kind of excited and a little bit nervous because you never really know how it's going to go, right? I've heard some really interesting conversations. I've seen some really interesting conversations online, and I wanted to talk about this because I thought, you know what, if I'm kind of a bit about this, then everybody's, well, not everybody, but a few people are probably going to be feeling the same. So it's a big one, right? New Year's resolutions, to do or not to do, as the case may be. Now, I thought about this and thought about it a lot, and I kind of get some of the reasoning behind people saying, oh, I'm not going to do it, and it's no good, and all the rest of it, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's what makes the world wonderful. But I wanted to talk about the 8 reasons why I will be doing it and why I actually think everybody should. So, first reason why you should set New Year's resolutions. The first one for me is really, really important. It's a new chance, right? So this isn't just going to be, January is not just going to be a new month. It's not just going to be a new year. It's going to be a new decade. We're stepping into the 20s, right? We're going into 2020, and from there on in, it's going to be known as the 20s, right? So this is really, really big moment. It's kind of like a landmark moment for us. It's a new chance to get it right. And that really is like, it's another decade. It's another year. It's another year, another decade to get it right. This is another chance for you to say, you know what, I see something in my sights and I'm choosing to go for it. Now, I personally believe that every moment, every moment, every hour, every day of our lives is sacred, right? And that's not to say that we have to be super spiritual or ultra disciplined or anything like that. It's just to honor yourself enough and the universe to say, you know what, I've got a life, I may as well live it. And if I can put some form of a framework forward in order for me to follow so that I can reach something that will enable me to reach what is my personal highest potential, why wouldn't I do that? This is another chance for you to get it right. And that is a beautiful thing. Number 2, just because others have given up doesn't mean you have to, right? And this is the whole mindset that I'm going into it with. I heard a lot of people say, well, most people have broken their New Year's resolutions by the time they get to the second week. Most people have stopped going to the gym after 3 days because they're so sore from the first 3 days where they went a little bit harder than they probably should, especially if you're going from couch potato to 5k. You probably want to temper that. Small, slow, steady progression is going to win the game. That is going to get you faster to where you want to be, and it will give you lasting results. Just because some people or other people out there I've got this mindset of, oh, well, most people have broken their New Year's resolutions by the time they get to the second week. Okay, that's fine. And if that works for you and you can utilize that to keep telling yourself or making an excuse for yourself, let's be honest, of why you shouldn't set a resolution, that's cool. If that works for you, that's totally up for you. It doesn't work for me. And that's why I'm putting this into place. Number 3, if you don't plan or intend to win, how can you? And that really is the case of it, right? If you don't put in, and I'm not saying that every moment of your life has to be planned out. What I'm saying is if you put a framework down, even if it's a relatively loose one so that it's subject to change when it needs to be, this is like, when you say, right, that's it for the next year, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to work out for 3 hours every day. It's unrealistic. Set yourself goals and targets that you can achieve within a 12-month time frame. Break those down into 90-day sets, and then break those down even further to what you can achieve weekly. And if you want to, then you can do it day by day. But make sure, right, when you have a plan, when you have a specific goal in mind, when you have focused your intention enough on a specific outcome that you want, you are setting the intention that you can win, that you want to win. When you set an intention, right, we all use them every bloody bloody month. Everyone that follows me, everyone that follows astrologers, tarot readers, we all talk about, oh, you know, set your intentions at the new moon. Well, how about setting some intentions for a whole fucking year where you can really get out there and succeed, you know, where you can really push yourself forward in some way, shape or form. If you don't plan to win, if you don't intend to win, how on earth are you going to? Right? Plain and simple. Number 4. This one's kind of mostly for me, but I'm sharing it with you guys anyway. I am challenging myself. I am betting against my old mindset. So what others expect or think of me is none of my fucking business, to be quite frank, right? Whether people expect me to win, whether people expect me to fail, whether they want to see either one of those. If they want to see me win, blessing. If they don't want to see me win and they want to see me fail, not my fucking problem. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on me. I'm focused on my goals and pushing myself forward in any increment. Forward progression, no matter how small that piece of progression is forward progression still, right? And as the saying goes, and this mindset you should apply to everything. If you're doing something, you're lapping everybody that's doing nothing. Right? So you sit there in your corner complaining, I'm not setting resolutions, It's not about hate. I'm just saying that mindset, that energy doesn't work for me, and I'm not going to buy into it. That's kind of where I'm at. As you can see, I'm very gung-ho about all of this. So yeah, I'm really feeling that energy, and I hope that you guys are feeling it with me. I hope that I can impart this on you. Like I said, this isn't telling you what you need to or what you should do. It's not telling you that if you don't do it or you don't follow the, Raf's 8 simple rules, you're not going to get anywhere. It's not about that. It's just about really addressing something that I've seen a lot of back and forth on the internet. I kind of feel like somebody needed to step up and make a video like this, and you know what? Why not me? So number 5, the astrology is on our side, right? We've got, yes, there are a lot of big transits taking place in 2020. Straight out the gate, we've got a lunar eclipse on the 10th of January. Within 2 to 3 days of that, we've got the massive conjunction that's taking place between Saturn and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. That in and of itself is going to demand a real sort of wake-up call from everybody. It's going to provide the backdrop energy for you to create lasting change in your life. So why wouldn't you utilize that energy? Like, there's been a lot of doomsdayers and scaremongerers and fearmongerers saying like, oh, it's going to be awful and everything's going to break down. Well, I personally believe, and I always have and I always will, when you feel like you're breaking down, it means you're just about to break through. That's the point that you need to keep going, right? The other transits, Pluto and Jupiter are going to conjunct next year. I actually think that's probably around June or July, but don't hold me to that. That's a beautiful energy, especially for whatever your financial goals are. Obviously, this is going to, it's going to depend on where this falls in your own chart, but there's a whole backdrop. Also, there's 6 eclipses next year. Usually there's not that many, right? Which is a really powerful indicator that this is a big year for change. Slow and steady is going to win that race. If you're not in it, how can you win it? Number 6, 2020 is a 4-year, right? It's anyone that's telling you that it's a 22-year, please don't listen to that because it's totally wrong. 2020 is going to be a numerological year 4, right? The number 4 is about foundation, stability, organization, dedication, determination, hard work, self-mastery. It's about discipline. Why am I giving you all of these words that sound, and for those of you that do astrology, you'll be hearing the buzzwords. It sounds like a Saturnine year because the number 4 rules the planet Saturn. This is about the structures that you put in place. It's about the energy that you put into things. It's about doing it right from the offset. If there's something wrong, start again. If there's something that isn't quite right, go back to the drawing board. It's about being slow, steady, methodical, working through things. The number 4 year requires you to do things the right way and do it properly. And ultimately, don't try to take any shortcuts. Don't try to skip the gun. And I'll tell you, when I had my last personal year 4, I made some monumental fuck ups, and you guys know me by now. I can put my hands up and say, when I get it wrong, I get it wrong, right? And the last personal year, number 4 that I had, yeah, I screwed up, right? And I paid the price for it for the next 4 or 5 years to come, and that's fine. I'm not saying, again, I'm not doomsdaying or fear-mongering. What I'm saying is 2020 is a 4-year. This can be a year where you can lay a solid foundation for the rest of your life going forward. How you utilize it, what you build now, is what you're going to be able to build on top of. Like when you think about a tree, right, it stretches up to the sky. As high as that tree goes up is as deep as the roots or the foundation of that tree goes as well, like in direct contrast or opposite. So utilize this energy. It's going to require you to have that dedication, to find that grit within yourself, to work harder than you ever have before. You will see the people that do the work next year. Those are going to be the ones that have the come up. The ones that have done the preparation for the last 3-4 years previous will find this a lot easier because they're already in that track. But that doesn't mean that if you haven't, you kind of missed the train. It means 2020 is your chance. 2020 is that last call. If you don't build your foundations and build those things solid and build them right the first time here in 2020, it's going to be very, very hard for you to do further on, because we're already halfway through the numerological cycle by then. All right. So what else? Number 7, resilience. Resilience is key for everything. Determination, patience, dedication, all of this stuff. But why resilience? It's true to say that there are a lot of things that can, touch wood, take us out, right? But look at the marvel, look at the wonder that the human body is capable of. Look at the impossible feats that we are able to create, the things that we are able to do. Your mind and your spirit are just as resilient. And the thing about resilience is it teaches you where your limits are. The only way you're ever going to break your limits is by finding what they are and challenging them. You have to push yourself to the point where you think, I'm at the limit of what I know, the limit of what I can do, the limit of what I can lift, the limit of what I can, spiritually move with, right? Move past. For sometimes if you're going in spiritually, that resilience comes in because it's like, okay, now I'm looking at the stuff that's been holding me back. Maybe I'm, looking at my past traumas, looking at my past wounds. I'm at my limit of capacity. This is uncomfortable for me. If you push it just that little bit further to see what you're like, what you're able to do, what you're capable of when you move past that trauma, that's where you find and create new limits for yourself. Resilience is going to be key, especially in 2020. And what else have I put here? You need to learn to keep going if you stumble. If you fall off your diet in the first week or 2 of the year, what, you're just going to throw the rest out in the trash just because, oh well, I've had a stumble, so I'm just going to throw it in the can? What a crock of shit. Don't buy into that, and don't let anybody else make you buy into it. Make the choice, make the decision yourself. If you've had 2 days off of the gym because the first 4 days you went a little bit harder than you expected to, that's fine. Get back in, do something soft, do something gentle. As long as you still keep moving. I had this trainer a few years ago who was absolutely fucking brutal. I think he was an army, I can't remember what he was, but he was definitely in the army of some sort. And he used to say to us, you can slow down, you can shout at me, you can cry, you can do whatever you want, no problem, but you cannot quit. You cannot stop. Buy into that. I'm giving you that tip, right? If like I said, if you're feeling sore and you think, oh, you know what, I can't go and do a full workout today, that's fine. Go and do something gentle. You can slow down, you can ease it up, but you cannot stop and you cannot quit. Find that resilience within you. Know that you can keep going, even if you stumble, even if you have a moment where you think, do you know what, I've kind of lost my rhythm here. That's fine. Pick it back up, right? Even if you're not going at the same pace you were just a few days before, you're still going. Forward progression is forward progression still. Hold on to that mindset. And finally, number 8, why you should set New Year's resolutions. Why I'm setting New Year's resolutions? Because I can. Because I can, right? No one can tell me that I can't. I don't care what their mindset is, what they tell me can be done, what they tell me can't be done, what they expect from me, what they don't expect from me, what they want for me, what they do or don't want for me. That's none of my business. I can set New Year's resolutions because I can. That is my choice. That is me exercising my free will. And there's nothing or no one besides the heavens that can stop me in that pursuit. So you know what? There are 8 reasons why you should set New Year's resolutions. There are 8 reasons for you to look into and see what they mean to you. If none of this talks to you, thanks for stopping by. Sorry for wasting 15 minutes of your life. I hope you get them back somewhere. Right? For those of you that have found even just one little gem of wisdom or knowledge here that you can use, I love you. This is for you, and I hope that this truly elevates you and pushes you on in some way, shape or form. So whatever your New Year's resolutions are, if you have them, you put your heart and soul into them, baby, and don't let nobody try and tell you no. All right. I wish you all an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Go be awesome. Do amazing things. Keep me posted. Drop them comments in the description. Drop them comments in the comment section below. And like I said, for those of you that this has touched, I'm truly touched and humbled that I could be the mouthpiece for the knowledge, the information, or even the kick up the arse that you needed. All right. I love you. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.